everyone, Ken's Wild here with Wild Child Horsemanship, and welcome back to your channel.
Well, my buckle makes impressions on the inside of her thigh. There are little feathered Indians where we tussle through the night.
In the Colt Starting Prerequisites series, we show you guys 10 behaviors that every single horse should know. We call them the Colt Starting Prerequisites because we make sure that every horse knows these before we put their first rides on them. However, this is just a solid groundwork foundation that every single horse, whether they're just babies or they're adults that already know how to ride, these are things that every single horse should know. We show you guys how to teach a horse these behaviors, and we use a variety of different horses at Wild Child to do so. So I hope you guys all enjoy this series, and don't hesitate to let us know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. In this video, we are going to discuss lunging, starring client horse Maranatha. Before I begin, I'm going to give you guys 3 reasons why lunging is an important groundwork behavior. 1, it's a good exercise for de-escalation, meaning if you have a horse that is freaking out over the threshold and anxious, you can stop what you're doing, work on lunging, and get their mind focused on something else. It is also just good for exercise. Whether you're rehabbing a horse who has been injured, you're trying to get a horse back into shape, lunging can be a great way to exercise the horse and get them to build muscle and get back into shape. And finally, it is just a good way to prepare you for the session. It helps you see what kind of a mood the horse is in for the day. If you're introducing something new like a saddle or a tarp, it can help you see how the horse is going to react to the stimulus. Overall, it's just a good way to prepare you for the session ahead. Now to teach lunging. First off, you want to point in the direction you want them to go and then use the lunge whip to apply pressure behind the horse. If they start to stop like she did here, I'm going to point again, and if needed, apply more pressure from behind. So, horses have something that's called a drive line. Imagine a line from the withers to the shoulder. In front of that line is the brake pedal, and behind that line is the gas pedal. In other words, if you want your horse to slow down, you're going to apply pressure in front of the drive line, and if you want them to speed up, you're going to apply pressure behind the drive line. Here's an example. I want Maranatha to speed up, so I'm going to point, apply pressure behind with the lunge whip, and you can see that she picks up into that trot. Now, if I want Maranatha to slow down, I'm going to step in front of that drive line, apply some pressure, and you can see that she comes to a stop and looks at me. The goal is to get your horse to lunge in a circle around you at all speeds, both the walk, trot, and canter. Now, if you notice that your horse is going a little bit too fast, which you might notice here with Maranatha, I was just trying to ask her to walk. I'm going to ask her to stop. I'm going to try and get her to slow down, and then I'm going to try and encourage her to go off in that circle again. Again, she picks up that trot. I'm going to apply some pressure with that lead rope, and then I'm going to very slowly and politely try to encourage her to go in that circle around me again. She's kind of looking at me a little confused, but eventually she goes back out on that circle. I apply just a slight amount of pressure, and here she is walking in that circle around me. So that's what you want to do if you find your horse is going too fast when you're just trying to get them to stay at a slower gait. Here we are. I asked Maranatha to pick up into a trot by pointing and applying pressure from behind. So she starts to pick up that trot, and then in just a moment here, I'm going to see if I can get her to canter in a circle around me. I do not have a very big lunge line, so you might notice it's a little bit hard and tight of a circle, but she does eventually break into that canter, which is a very good thing and exactly what I was looking for. When lunging, you don't want the horse to be pulling you around the round pen. You might notice how Maranatha has quite a bit of slack on that leader rope. She also has her nose pointed in towards the circle, and she's being very attentive. Her one ear is almost always focused on me, and she's trying to pay attention to everything that I'm asking her to do. Right here, you can see that I asked Maranatha to come to a stop. She continues to walk a few steps, so I'm just going to apply some pressure with that lead rope until she stops, turns, and faces me. And then I'm going to have her change direction. And again, when I have her change direction, I just switch the hand that the lead rope and the lunge whip is in, point in the direction I want her to go, and apply pressure from behind. What I just showed you guys was lunging on a line. There is also free lunging, which is where I take off the halter and there's absolutely nothing connecting me and Maranatha. I'm going to pick up the lunge whip. The exact same concept applies. I want to point in the direction I want her to go, apply some pressure from behind, and she should just be able to go in a circle around me. You might notice that she's kind of got her head tilted outside. She's a little bit stiff and she's a little bit excited to be free lunging, which is okay. This is all something that we'll work on over time. And with practice and patience, you can get a horse that is just as relaxed and calm and focused free lunging than they are on the lunge line. You might see right here that Maranatha tried to turn the other direction without me asking, and if your horse tends to do this, just step in front of them, step in front of the drive line like I just did here, and encourage them to go the opposite direction, or the direction that you were already asking them to in the first place. In that example, I was asking her to turn, but sometimes you might have a horse that, like I said, will turn of their own free will, and you don't want them to do this because you don't want them to think that they can just do whatever they want willy-nilly. So step in front of them and ask them to go back in the direction they were originally going. When you want your horse to come to a halt while free lunging, step in front of that drive line. If they go to try and go the other direction like she did here, cut them off and step in front of that drive line again. Slowly make your way up to them, start giving them pets, loves, and show them that they did a good job. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this YouTube video. Before we end off for the day, I want to give you guys a friendly reminder to go and check out our other social medias. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have TikTok, we have a bunch of random stuff out there, so definitely go check it out. You can find the links to all of that on our website, which we'll put in the description. We also have several books on the shelf that I highly recommend you guys go and check out, all on different equine related matters. We also have a podcast out there that discusses the life lessons horses have to teach us, as well as a merch store. And if you take a picture of you wearing our merch, then we'll send you a discount on your next order. We are also a sponsored writer for Jeweled and Tooled Custom Leathers, and they make a big portion of the tack that we use on a daily basis. And if you use the discount code WILDCHILD2025, you will also get a killer fucking deal. And last but certainly not least, I want to remind you guys that all of the content you see, all of the videos that we have, are purely funded by myself. I like to offer these at absolutely no cost to you guys because I truly just want to educate and help create a better world for the horses we all love so much. However, if you would like to financially help or support the sanctuary horses or the things we need to make these videos, or the horses that we rescue and rehabilitate, I have a list of different ways that you can donate. We are not a registered nonprofit. We are just an LLC trying to make ends meet and continue making a better world for the horses and helping horses in need. So if you feel inclined to donate to any of those, please do so. All of the proceeds from our merch and our books and all that fun stuff as well also go to supporting the sanctuary horses and helping us help more horses in need. So stay strong, stay true, stay wild. Thank you guys for your support, and we'll see y'all next time.